What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XCN, OnyxCoin today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Let's get into it, my friends. I want to talk first and foremost about where I think the price is going to go in the very immediate terms. Then we'll go over what I think is going to happen over the coming weeks by the end of the month of February. And of course, we can do some cycle ending stuff as well. So if that sounds good to you, hit the like button, subscribe. Yes, let's get into it. 2.7 cents now. We're going to start off the video fast and loud by saying I think we are going to dump. We're going to drop. It's going to be chaotic. We're going all the way below 1 cent. Just kidding. We're not going to go that low. No. It's not going to be that low. We will likely go somewhere, I think, around this low. And mark my words, guys, if it's not perfect to this low specifically, I have a theory. I have a theory that we're getting some kind of a triple bottom here where it's like it's almost like an inverse head and shoulders, the way that you would look at it. But essentially you get a peak here that's low. And it often comes in forms of wicks, okay? The middle peak is the lowest, and then the next peak, it's almost like an inverse head and shoulders because you would expect it to be very similar to this. It might even be some kind of complex inverse head and shoulders, but it wouldn't make sense that it is because it's at the top of a pattern. Either way, whatever, I'm expecting that we do go very specifically down to 2.2 cents. I also theorize that just like this moment, I suspect it'll be a very fast, very short-lived moment. So anybody with open buy orders down there between like 2.3 to 2.1 cents, you'll probably get filled. If you're looking to fill it by the time it gets down there, you're looking to catch it on its move, you're probably going to have a harder time doing that. Of course, nothing's guaranteed. It doesn't have to happen, but I think it is going to happen. You've got a rather flat base. You've got these descending highs. Everybody's looking at this triangle, just like this triangle here, and expecting that at the tip we're going to break out to the upside. So I think the most ironic or the best thing to happen would be that we just break to the downside. We break so fast that we scare people. We make them think that just because everybody's looking at the upside, right? Everybody's looking up. They don't consider the downside. So if that happens, it's going to throw people off. It's going to shake you out. It's going to make you think that you bought the wrong coin, and all it did was it just dropped to an area that it's finding a higher low at. It's finding support here at previous areas of support, and then it will likely do everything that you thought it was going to do. It just dropped first. So be prepared. Be very prepared. I think this is going to happen. We're looking at this on a 4-hour basis. You know, it takes 6 candles, 6 4-hour candles in any given day to complete a day. So looking at what we've got going on here with just this kind of look in this triangle, I think that within the next couple days, if not even today, we will see this move down. Again, very clearly, I'm expecting us to go between about 2.3 to 2.1 cents. If we go lower, I'm not scared. If we don't go that low, cool, whatever, fine. People are less getting shaken out. We could go lower and still find some kind of lower low in this kind of sense, and we could go all the way down to 1.5 cents. You guys, 1.5 cents is still on the table, and I very much, the same thing that I've said this whole time, even before this low happened, right? I accept that 1.4 cents could happen. I don't expect it to happen. If we go there, I'm not going to be surprised. I'm not going to crap my pants, right? But I'm also not going to be there saying, okay, even though, yes, we're talking about it day after day, week after week, I'm not going to be down there being like, I told you so, because that's not my expectation. I'm only telling you not to be like, I told you so. I'm telling you to prepare yourself. It could happen. And if it did happen, look at how perfect it would be. It would just be, it would be in this giant descending channel down. It's just a corrective phase. We'd be finding support, immaculate support each time, I would assume, and likely third time's the charm. That would send us to the roof. So even if in our worst nightmares we went down to 1.4 cents, everything's fine. Everything's fine. I'm only going over such extensive detail on this because I don't think it's going to happen. But if it does, it's important to go over what you don't think is going to happen. Because if you think this is going to happen and then the opposite happens and you're not prepared at all, you're going to crap your pants and you're going to make a bad emotional decision there. Okay? Oftentimes at the worst place to do it, right before it lifts off again. So don't do that. I want to refine this a little bit more. I want to look at the 1 hour and I want to see if we can get this triangle down to a little bit more of a refined look. Let's just see. Get it from this high here. Come on now. To the high, to the high, to the high. Oh, it's so zoomed out. I'm having a hard time getting it right there. There we go. Boom. There we go. So, yes, slowly breaking out of it each time, right? Maybe that high is not the best line to draw from. Let's see. This is where it gets a little bit tricky, but not too tricky. It shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, something like that, right? A little bit higher. Something like that looks to be pretty well fit, just not over here, but that's pretty well fit with that angle. And then I think, you know, trend line, I don't know, let's just bring it from here. We'll go back. Zoom out a little bit. Would it be best to do? I think something like that would be best, right? Probably. A line of best fit, something that hits this wick, gets these in there, gets that in there. It's not the prettiest looking thing, right? But more or less, if we're drawing it like this, finding support, getting tighter and tighter on the 1 hour perspective, you know, here we are, it's the 9th of February. The apex point comes into the 10th of February, about midday there. So I would say, yeah, between today, Super Bowl Sunday, and tomorrow, over the next debatably like 36 hours, I would expect that XCN makes a move. Likely, it makes its move down, is my thoughts. And I mainly think that because I think everybody's expecting that when we break out of this, it's going to be to the upside. So contrarianism at its finest would suggest that we do the opposite. I hope people who are watching this video, I hope you guys don't change your opinion and think it's going to go down with me, because then the more of us who think it's going to go down, the more likely it's going to go up. Does that make any sense at all? I don't know if it does, but that's just how I think, man. Money, the way markets are made is not to make the most people money. It's made to take money away from most people and give money to the few that quote unquote know what they're doing or have a higher risk tolerance. Either way, I suspect we break out of this to the downside. It's been a rather ugly rendition so far. And if we look at this from a relative low to a high here, 2.5 cents is at the 0.5, 2.3 cents is at the golden ratio, the 6.9 is at 2.2 cents, and even all the way down right by 2.1 cents, that's at the 7.86 there. So anything and everything's fair game. Of course, 1.5 cents also down here at areas that we could find support at. Already explained that kind of case scenario there. 4-hour RSI looks bearish. It actually looks like it wants to go down. I will say this though, oftentimes when you reject the 50, you do go to the oversold zone. So rejecting it twice and not getting to the oversold zone is a rather good signal that you could reverse this and move up higher, right? But just because you have a double rejection doesn't mean it doesn't mean that you will move higher. You still could move to the oversold zone, right? You saw a double support here and you still went overbought. So all that to say, a bit of a downtrend, lower highs, flat base here, so that's fine. I don't know if you go to the oversold zone, but I could see you going lower, and that lines up with everything that we've said so far in the video. 1 hour time frame definitely looks like it wants to go lower, yes. Rejecting off the overbought zone, getting into the oversold zone though, rejecting the 60, getting below the 40. It's very suggestive that you are moving down right now. Probably over the coming hours we will go down. So I'm very confident in this, you guys. I'm very, very confident in this. We just had a bearish engulfing candle on the last 1 hour there as well, rejecting off the 50. There's no doubt in my mind that by the time most of you watch this, we either will be at lower prices than where we are now, or we might have even seen this move come to fruition. Again, if you look at all these moves, we're going to go back. We're just going to go back, right? The amount of time that you're at this low, that was 1 hour, and then you literally pumped from your low. An hour later, you pumped up 20%, right? That was just an hour later. Let alone 6 hours later, you're up 44%. Let alone 2 days later, you're up 73%. You know what I mean? Let alone a week later, you're up more than that. Here, same thing. It took you hours to pull down, sure, but while you were down here, 2 hours later, you're up 65%. You know what I mean? It's a very short. 2 hours later, same thing. Big move up there. 1 hour later, big move up here. 5 hours later, more. What I'm saying is, you might see this drop come in the form of a 6-hour drop. It might take the next 6 to 10 hours to get there. It could take more than that, right? It could take less than that. But whenever you recover, it's going to be fast. It's going to be very fast. I would expect that if we make this move down today, if we move down to 2.2 cents, 2.3 to 2.1 cents, even lower than that, if we make that move today, I would expect that by tomorrow, we're back at the same prices we're at now, if not higher. And then going forward into the rest of the week, next week, we will begin our ascent to higher prices. So let's go over that now. So we know where we're going down, or at least we assume to know where we're going down. Let's talk about the upside now. Looking at the 3-day time frame, I'm going to take this high here to this low here. And you can see we're at the 2618, bounced off the 1886-200 area, consolidating at the 2272. Very, very healthy, very good looking stuff. If and when we move up higher, the next target area likely would be 7 to 9.8 cents. That's your next target area. And then after that, it would be 20 to 26 cents. So essentially, if we get above 10 cents, you guys, we are on, based on this fib, which you have respected. We're going to go over the respect you've shown, by the way, to show why. It's not just because these are numbers and we're like, oh, if we go above 10 cents, we have to go to 20.5 cents or higher, 26 cents. And there's other things suggesting we could go to 25 cents as well. But that's not why we like it. We like it because we are showing respect on this. That is pretty coincidental that you stopped right there at the golden ratio, the 2618, the double golden extension. Pretty coincidental. You look at this on a 4-hour time frame. You stopped right here at the 2272. Finding support on your 200 both times. Stopping right there at the 1886. You found support on the 1618, but you kind of disrespected it, to be fair. I just think, and then all this support that you found on the golden ratio here as well, breaking up, breaking beyond, finding support on the 382 right there, 382 resistance, 236 support. Just so much respect on this fib. I don't think it's crazy at all to consider that you might continue to find respect on it. I don't think it's crazy at all to consider that looking at the price, there's nothing stopping you. You get above 10 cents, there's nothing stopping you. Right there. What's stopping you from new all-time highs at that point? Just the all-time highs. And the only part that makes sense on a fib perspective would actually be to go just above the all-time highs. I love this, you guys. I really love this because I said it a week ago, right? When we were at these highs here, okay? Whenever we were finding support in the overbought zone, I said it. I said, if we move up, we won't get as big of a move up because we're already overbought. We're so overextended. We won't get as big of a move up. And we got a nice move. But what I love is that we did not continue to run. We didn't continue to run because, sure, we would have grown more. Sure, we would have probably hit 9 cents, 6 cents, maybe even 10 cents earlier than we have now. Sure, if we continue to run, but we would have had to consolidate a lot more. We would have had a longer phase of consolidation. Now, on the other hand, we were overextended. We were overbought for a little while. We had our bearish divergence, but we've cooled way the hell off. We're all the way back down at our 53. You guys remember the last time we were at a 53 on our daily RSI? You remember what it was? I remember, right? It was right here. It was right here when we were at 0.002. And then we ran all the way up to 5 cents, right? We did a 20x in 2 weeks' time. That's what happened. That's how far we've cooled off, is we're at the same readings that we were at last time, okay? And we're in a very bullish posturing right now. I love that we took all this time to consolidate. And the reason why I love it, the reason I got distracted right there is because it really does allow, where at the beginning of this consolidation phase, we were looking for targets that weren't probably even above 9.5 cents. I didn't have targets. My highest sell order was right at about 9.2 cents. It wasn't even above 10 cents. Now my highest sell order is above 13 cents. They've only moved up. They've only continued to move up. And after doing this analysis and just really thinking about it and looking at this consolidation, you guys, I very much do believe, as crazy as it sounds, man, XCN might be moving up to 20 to 26 cents. Not this week. Maybe not even by the end of next week, but by the end of this month of February. I think today, tomorrow, we go through a little shakeout. We're going to do a little shake and bake. We're going to get things baking in the oven. We're going to get it prepped and ready. And then Ricky Bobby and Cal Knott Jr. are going to pull that shake and bake out of the oven. We're going to go to town, man. We're going to have a feast. It's going to go all the way up to about 20 to 26 cents. If not, boo-hoo, we get 10 cents. 10 cents to 7 cents. Here we are at 2.7 cents now. At least it's something. At least we still grow. But personally, I think if we get above 10 cents, there's nothing in the way of price. There's nothing in the way of fibs that get in the way of us going to 20 cents. We break above 10 cents, 21 cents, 26 cents. It's inevitable, like Thanos. That's why that line's purple. I got nothing else for you. If you like the video, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. Oh, right. We're going to do cycle ending stuff too, right? People wonder about that. So cycle ending, you look at XCN. Number 81, man. Number 81. That's just crazy. Crazy, crazy stuff, man. So $838 million market cap. I do not believe it is going to see a $100 billion market cap. I do believe it's possible it could see an $80 billion market cap. So from here, a 100x is completely possible. 100x for 2.7 cents, that put us at $2.70. $2.70. We take this all-time high to the all-time low here, if it'll let me. Can I get it? Is that okay? Will I be able to? Right here. There you go. Almost right there at that low there. $2.70. It's kind of in between the 1414 and the 1618. It's very common with the 1414 to go just above it. So just above it, you know, maybe not 270, but $2, maybe 270. The highest I could see it going is 270. That's not my call for the end of the cycle. That's kind of the highest I could see it doing would be about 100x from here. I could see it doing a 50x, which would then put it, instead of 270, that would put it at what? That'd be at like a $1.35. Maybe it does more than that. Maybe it does more than a 50x and it reaches for $2. I really could and do believe that XCN will be worth more than $2 by the end of the cycle, but something I would think at least at $1.82, if not likely above $2 would be my expectation by the end of the cycle. So is it too late to get into XCN? Absolutely not. No. Nope. I think it's not the most ideal time. The most ideal times were back here or back here, right? Those are the most ideal times, but you know, it doesn't seem like it now, but and in a couple weeks, man, you might feel pretty smart buying here. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I also think if you just wait a couple hours or even like within the next half day or so, we'll probably see prices about half a cent lower than they're at now. Maybe even a cent and a half lower. Anyways, that's all I got. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you guys for being here. Bye-bye.